Hi, this is Jennifer from Jennifer Lawrence Bureau channel, and today we're going to make this card right here. It says you are loved, and it has several different techniques in it. So we're going to be stamping, we're going to be coloring in the stamped images, we're going to be using some watercolor paint in the background, and yeah, I think, what else are we going to do here? Yeah, so, and then we're going to make a card. So, to do this, we do need to have the stamp set here, and it's from Close to My Heart. I don't think it's available anymore. It's like, but it's called Bloom with Grace, and it's a card making set. And it's with thin cuts, and thin cuts are these things here that cut the image out, the different images. So where you see it in blue is where is the image that it would cut cut it out. So, and it comes together as a set. So, yeah, and then, I don't know, I was looking for the cling sheet where the stamps actually sit, but that's not in front of me right now. Okay, so we're going to start with a piece of white cardstock that measures 4¼ inch wide by 5 inches long. Okay, so we're going to do that because that's going to be the front of our card. And we're going to learn how to make our own pattern paper. And I'm going to start with stamping the largest image I'm going to use first, which is a pumpkin. And we're going to stamp that in the color Gold Rush. Again, these are all products of Close to My Heart from when I used to sell the Close to My Heart products. And we're going to begin stamping. Now, to make your own pattern paper, it is good to start always with the largest image. And I would begin with placing an image, the first image in the middle of your paper. And then it's good to have some paper that you don't care getting messed up underneath your surface, unless you have, like I also have a craft mat, I can easily wipe it away, because you're going to stamp, most patterns do go off the page, and I'm going off the page with my stamping here. Okay, so it looks like that. So far, that's the pumpkins. Then I'm going to add in oh, I'm missing the color I need for the, oh dear. I cannot find my, okay, it's a yellow here. Okay, so I'm going to use the color Lemon here to do the next size stamp, which is the sunflower, to fill in the background a little bit more. And we're going to stamp in between the pumpkins at the top, between the pumpkins at the bottom, and in between the pumpkins at the sides. Okay, so we have some balance and a bit of a pattern going on there. Okay, and then we're going to use our next, I need fern green here, and we're going to stamp the leaves that you see in here in the card. And we're going to place them in between a lot of the images here in a random pattern, so the leaves look like they're falling. And this is a fall stamp primarily. I know it's summer, I understand that, but fall is around the corner, and I like getting ready ahead of time and not rushing around and doing things necessarily at the last minute when it comes to making green cards for other people. Okay, so I've done that, and that's what it's starting to look like here. The next thing I'm going to do is color in the images. So I have the watercolor pencil crayons, and this one is Mandarin Orange, and I'm going to fill in the pumpkin with it. Again, they're available at Close to My Heart. So I'm going to color those in, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. I also have it's good to have a pencil sharpener nearby when you're working with colored pencils, so that you can get the point that you need. I'll color those in. Now, when you watercolor, it is recommended that you use watercolor paper, and the reason being is that even a heavier paper like cardstock will bleed the water can bleed through and, not hold it, and it takes time to dry. So I do recommend not putting the top on until the bottom has, the watercolor painting has dried. So yeah, so I'm going to continue that, filling this in. And yeah, no, it feels good to be decorating cards again. It's building up my my love and skill for decorating and designing. And yeah, and I love to teach others, different ways of making cards. And as I'm talking here, I'm maybe I'm not quite finished the second pumpkin in coloring, so I'm not sure I'm going to color all of this in. It is taking some time there. I might go to doing some leaves. You don't have to do it in order. You can't, all pumpkins and then all flowers and then all leaves. No, you can go a pumpkin or two and then a couple leaves, and color in any order that you like. And because it's going to be more muted, I would say don't color with a lot of pressure. Just a light coloring back and forth in the stamped images is recommended for this project. I'm going to go back and do the stems of the pumpkins here. Today I'm having a pajama day. Yesterday was supposed to be my relaxation day. I didn't quite relax. Of course, I spent time cleaning and organizing and all those wonderful things. So I thought staying in my pajamas maybe for the morning and set the tone to, relax today. I'm coloring in one of the flowers there. See that? See how it's coming. And then I'm not going to necessarily finish it, because I want to show you more techniques and how to get this going. So I have a watercolor palette here that also was purchased from Close to My Heart. And I'm going to be using this brown. So there's like a light tan, a brown, it looks like a gray, and a black. So I'm going to use the brown. And with a water brush, and that I think I need to fill with water. Okay, maybe I have another water brush here with water in it. I don't want to get up to fill it. Okay. All right. Could have been ready there, but it was because I was, give me a moment, I'm going to fill that quickly. Yeah, no, I was watercolor painting the sample card, and then I didn't fill my water brush up. Okay. So yeah, they're easy to fill. You just give the barrel underneath the water and squeeze, and it sucks the water right in. Okay, so we're going to begin watercolor painting. Now this takes a little time to get comfortable with. So this is more of a higher level technique. And we're going to paint the background brown to represent the earth that is around the stamped images. Okay, and I got a little something on my card there. There we go. So you just pick a starting point. Doesn't matter where. You want the amount of water you squeeze into the paint palette. You want to squeeze an amount on there. You want your brush fairly saturated, fairly wet, maybe not soaking wet. That's definitely something to play with for sure, because you know, the wetter it is, the less color you might less pick up. The drier it is, the more color you're going to pick up. So it all depends on how dark you'd like your background to be, or how light you want your background to be. And I think the key is, once you pick the tone that you're happy with, is trying to be consistent with that tone all the way across. Okay, so I'm not going to finish painting this all in, but I want to show you. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to paint a little bit more here. I'd say go carefully around your stamped images if you want to do that first. Do that and then fill in the blank areas afterwards. You definitely don't want to go over top of your stamped images. See how I filled in the background there, and it's actually quite dark. So I didn't add as much water. I'm going for dark, which will lend a nice contrast. Okay, so that is as far as I'm going with the painting today. For the purpose of this video, I don't want it to be too long. The next thing you would, obviously every card needs a card base. So you prepare your base. These ones are from Close to My Heart, and they are pre-scored, so they're easy to fold. When you finish painting this, you'd want it to dry, and then you would adhere some double-sided tape behind it to cover the full card. Okay, so that would be your background. That's once that's dry. In the meantime, there is, where did I put that? Okay. The background piece that needs to be stamped with the sentiment, and I believe I made that 3 inches long by 2.5 inches tall. Okay, and then let me just give it a check. Yes, it is. And there's 2 tones to this particular cardstock. You got the light, and then you have the dark. I recommend using the light. I think I used the dark the last time. That's the light. Okay. So prepared on a 2 by 3.5 inch block, I have You Are Loved there, and I'm going to do a technique here of using 2 colors. So the You Are and Loved will be different colors. So I'm using some Desert Rose and some Intense Black. So I'm going to stamp in the lightest color first, the Desert Rose, the whole image. Okay, give that a good press. Clean off my block. And then I'm going to take the Intense Black and just stamp the UR using the edge of the stamp pad in the black. So that the love will be, or loved will be in Desert Rose, and the UR will be in black. And then we're going to place this close to the corner of the left hand side. And you see You Are Loved is there. And then I like to also use some, keep decorating this so that our sentiment pops more. And use some toffee brown ink to go around, just around the edge. You build it, your sentiment a nice frame. And then we're going to do a neat little technique at the end here. We're going to make this little point. And to do that, you find your center and cut straight up. Then you go from one of your corners to that center point on an angle for the one side, and then you do that on the other side from corner to the point on the other side. And then you make like that shape there. Couldn't think of what it is, I'm sorry. And so I also, and this all, obviously you can do all this while your watercolor background is drying. And then I'm going to use, what color did I use it in? I'm trying to think. The flowers were, let's go with toffee. Let's just go with toffee. Okay. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. You can play it with the colors. What I do recommend is that you have 4 to 5 different colors that you want to work with that go together, that coordinate. And that way you will have a finished look. And I'm just stamping flowers randomly all over it to give some interest there. And then I added on some sparkles in the clear underneath the word love, just 3 of them, evenly spaced to give your title more pop. And then I adhered it with foam tape behind, and I put a strip at the top and a strip at the bottom, and you could also put a strip in the middle so that way when it's pressed on, that it won't dip down. So that's it for this tutorial on how to make this particular card. And I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Goodbye.